I would do that. I would do like a spa treatment, like soak in a ginger turmeric. Does turmeric? Well, ginger might burn too. I'm just thinking, how might this feel on the skin? Ginger and turmeric bath? That sounds heavenly. Or is it gonna burn my puss? Does anybody know? Has anybody tried it? Let me know if you tried it. I'm Erica, also known as E.MoniQue, and this is my real life. Hang out with me as I side-eye the ups and stumble through the downs. Watch as I turn my tiny piece of the Arizona desert into a tropical oasis. Fight to beat infertility and figure out where I fit as an artist in this crazy creative world. All while awkwardly discovering my authentic self. I'll be talking out loud about the things I wish someone would have said a while ago and sorting through what I wish I didn't know. Who knows? Maybe you can relate, as I often ask myself. Gotta roll these curls. They have a good bounce to them, though. Good bounce. Even the back, which is like historically looser. If I roll them, they'll be fine. They will be. Don't spill it. Oh. It's gonna look like pee if I spill this on my bed. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, hot. I should have had this. I keep forgetting that I have ginger tea. It's hot. So, what time is it? I think it's 7. And I'm ready to go to bed. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm also coming down with a cold for the first time in what feels like years. I have not had a cold in a very, very long time. I usually just suffer from allergies for a day or two. This feels different. My head hurts. My nose won't stop running. Front and back. I have a post-nasal. My throat is rubbed raw. And there's just a draining of energy in me that is different from my normal fatigue. It's different from stress fatigue. It's different from anxiety spiral fatigue. It's different from anemic fatigue. It's just bitch, you're sick. So deal with it. Also, considering how I spent my weekend, I know for certain that this is not allergies. This is good old-fashioned, pure preschool germs. I had my 3-year-old cousin the entire weekend, and he, along with many children that like run around and go to preschool, is like a walking petri dish. I mean, the amount of snot that I like had to wipe off of his nose was astounding. I thought I had leaky nose syndrome. That boy, it's not even like a leaky faucet like snot. It's like he needs to be auditioning for a Mucinex commercial. I'm sorry if this is TMI, but this is a 3-year-old. They're snotty, they're germy, they're sticky, they're gross. Come to life. But he's just ugh. And you know, little boys are like, I feel like they take it up a notch and nasty because they're explorers. I'm not saying that little girls are not, but little boys are explorers in a fearless way, what is dirty? What is clean? What is tidy? What is, you know what I mean? They just go right in for it. They roll around. I didn't even know he could do a roll like that. He rolled, he laid, he somersaulted, he picked up, he threw sand like confetti. I mean, it's their world. When they're 2, 3, 4 years old, they're just in there trying to figure it out, and quite disgusting. Matter of fact, why don't I have my box of tissue? I'm about to run out of tissues already, and I can't find any of my hankies. Hold on. Because I need one right now. This is when it sucks to have a big nose. When you're sick, when you have allergies. Excuse me. Anyways, I feel like we need to rewind it back. Let's go back, because it's been a few days since the meltdown. Let's roll it back. Oh my God. My glasses hurt. All right. Well, I think that I should just start by talking. For my own well-being, for my own mental health. So it would be a good idea, I think, for me to say words to you before I start having conversations with the general public, people IRL. I think it would just be good to organize my thoughts and my words. And that's been incredibly difficult for me since the recent happenings, which I still, it's a lot to process. And well, let me start by saying this. It is Thursday, November 7th. And I'm having a really, really delayed fucking response. I'm having a real delayed response, and it is all like the emotion part of it is all rushing to me all at once today. And I'm trying to keep it together and trying to allow my mind to process thoughts and feelings and fears and all the things with some sort of order. I'm trying really, really hard not to spiral, and I'm trying. But I've been trying not to spiral since before election day, just because of stress and stuff, right? So prefer to vote via mail and ballot. So I had done that in October. So I got it done in October with plenty of time. Even that made me a little bit nervous because the day that I went to the post office to mail it, rather than going into the post office like a smart person would, it was like right before work, and I chose to use the drive-through drop your mail. And so many other people had that same idea, right? So by the time, like before 8 in the morning, both of the bins to drop your mail were full. And I remember struggling a little bit getting my envelope in there, like, pushed in there really good because it was full, and like I needed it to get in there enough to where nobody could come behind me and like pull it out. Like stuff you shouldn't have to think about, stuff that you shouldn't have to even like say, like who would pull your ballot out? What? And sure enough, there was another car coming behind me dropping off mail. And anyways, I'm trying to stuff my envelope in the thing rather than just pulling it back out and like taking it in the post office, because even if it's not open, I think there's a certain part of the post office that is, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm thinking, because there's, how there's like two parts to the post office. There's the part where you can go in and put stuff in the chute, and then you go in another door and there's like people working and you get in line and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, but I feel like maybe the first part where you can go in and drop your thing in the chute may have been open, even if the other, I don't know. I didn't do that, okay? I pushed it in as much as I could, and there may have been a chance where someone, if they really fucking wanted to, could stick their fingers in and like get it out, and that made me nervous. So it was like, as soon as I drove away and then there was another car behind me who was there for a while, it made me nervous because I'm like, fuck, they're gonna like take my ballot out and like destroy it, or because obviously people do some like crazy stuff. So like my mind is going, and I just was concerned that my vote would not count because it wasn't going to make it to be counted, because somebody was going to take my ballot and do some shady shit. Anyways, and it takes like a couple days for you to like use the tracking device. So like I immediately get on my phone and I'm like, track my thing, and it's like, your ballot hasn't been received, and I'm panicking, but I'm like, think about it. You just fucking put it in the mailbox, right? They have to get it out of the mailbox whenever they're gonna fucking do that. they have to scan it or whatever, send it. I don't know what the process is. I don't. But it's going to take some time for them to register your vote, right? So it was like, chill. But I was nervous about that, especially after seeing like different cities having issues with like thousands of ballots, and some of them, they're just like all over the ground, and like like people do stuff, shit happens, and it made me nervous. Um, but eventually I was able to go back to that website and see exactly all the dates and the times and everything that I needed to see that, put my mind at ease about my vote being counted. Um, there is a certain number of people in my life who I know for a fact did not vote, and that infuriates me and it breaks my heart. And conversations were had about that, and it was kind of like falling on deaf ears, which it just makes me so incredibly angry, especially considering where we are now. Not that the handful of people that I'm referring to, not that they're would have mattered, right? But anyways, so did my very best to protect my mental health. I did not acknowledge, not even with the text back stop to any of the text messages that I was receiving. I did not even click on those messages. I just moved them out of my line of sight. I did not watch a whole bunch of news. I did not read any articles. I chose my mental health over anything else the days leading up. And I knew that to further support myself and show up for myself, that I needed to take the day after Election Day off. It didn't matter who won the presidency. I felt it absolutely necessary for me to take the next day off. There are certain days of the year I believe, I won't even speak for everybody, but for me, there are certain days of the year that I feel like I don't want to be in the presence of how should I say this? I don't want to set myself up for the possibility to be fucked with. I don't want to set myself up for the possibility to feel severe anxiety and anger and all of the things, because I know how I am and I feel these things in my body. And I don't want to be at work amongst clients feeling this way, having a visceral reaction to something that is said, something that is done. I don't. And I'm super proud of myself for thinking ahead for me and making that choice, because the day of the election, I did work. And while for the most part it was a very calm, peaceful, quiet day, I did have a few people who found it totally appropriate to insist on having a conversation about the election and how it was going to go and how Kamala was going to win, and just like insisted on having this conversation where I had told them in a couple conversations prior that I don't do this at work. I don't do this. That's not to say that I don't have an opinion, that I don't have hope, that I don't have thoughts about it, that I'm not following it. That means I don't do this at work. We don't talk about it because this space is not for that. And I am not the one. So I don't care who you're talking about. Don't try to ask me if we're on the same page, which some people flat out asked me if we were on the same page. And I feel like that is fucking none of your business. Even if we are on the same page, shut up. Stop. This is what I mean by like my whole journey with like setting healthy boundaries and like sticking to them whilst like retraining people in my life has been so fucking hard, because it's not just like friends and family, but it trickles down to like in my professional life, dealing with clients, people who feel like they can just do and say whatever they want to you and like overstep, right? It was like the same shit going on with like when my grandmother passed, and some of them fucking knew about it and they just insisted on bringing it up and insisted on. Anyways, I'm rambling and I'm sorry. And I told you, like, I have a lot going on in my head. A lot has happened since like my last video, and like it's just been high stress, right? Per fucking huge. But other than that, like election day, my day, was not terrible. It wasn't terrible. It was bearable, which I somewhat anticipated. It was going to be the day after that. I needed to like be away. I needed to be in my safe space for that day, despite who won. If Trump won, then it would be like absolute chaos. And I'm not saying that to be like dramatic or like animated or like some crazy person. I'm not saying it to be funny, but I really felt that if Trump won, it was going to be chaos in the sense of all of the followers were going to feel that much more empowered to act a fucking monkey and fulfill their entitled ass dreams and wishes and just do whatever they want and run amok. We've seen it before. I've seen that before in my own neighborhood, this place that I insist on living in because I love it here. I love this city, except for when it's fucking purge year. You know what I mean? It's really scary being awakened to how people are in your own community back in 2020. And I'm sorry, I get my years mixed up. It's just like the every 4 years thing is like really throwing me off. But between 2016 and 2020, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. That time was really scary in my own community. I mean, people, how they were just treating each other and how bold they were with their ideas and actions, and it was just a really scary time. And like I feel like I picked like the wrong time to do this, because I do have a headache. It's been a long day today. I'm still like overwhelmed. I'm tired. It's late. I still don't know what the fuck is going on right now. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, and I'm just like I am not okay. So please excuse me being all over the place. Even if Kamala won, there would be just as much chaos, if not more, because of the followers. And I just wanted to be in my safe space, honestly. And I'm really, really glad that I made that decision again, because I'm having conversations with people, like not just in my line of work, but I'm just having conversations with people where, you know, they're saying that yesterday was a very, very hard day for them. And I fucking cannot imagine. I cannot imagine having to go to work and function and do your job as normal with people wishing you a happy Trump day, like celebrating, and like I cannot imagine. I can't. And I feel really, really like the night of the election, when I got home, I totally anticipated grabbing a glass of wine and like turning to the live coverage, you know, for like background, as I was gonna like tune in or check in and just kind of see. I started that. I did that. But as soon as I turned the live coverage on and I saw the map and I saw how red the map was already, like by the time I got home, which is, I don't know, it was like 5-6 o'clock. As soon as I saw the map, I started panicking. Like I had a physical reaction. I started panicking, and I'm like, I can't fucking do this. Like I can't sit here and watch this for my own sake. I cannot do it. To not dial into this. This is not healthy. So I didn't. Instead, I talked to my best friend. I talked to my mom. I broke up with a crazy bitch. Ugh. I'm gonna have to circle back to that, because that's a whole separate conversation that I need to have out loud. I don't have time to like sit here and worry over the election. Like people need me in my life, and I feel like I need to talk to them also. So I did that for the rest of the night, and then I got tired and I was just like, well, I'm not going to check in. I'm not going to get on social media. I'm not going to check anything. I'm going to go to bed. And so I did. And again, that next morning, Wednesday, yesterday, I took off. So I took my time waking up. I knew that at some point I would need to find out the news, find out who won. And like that morning was just so quiet, so quiet. So tired. I'm so drained. Of checking to see who won as soon as I wake up. I took time for myself. I made a tea. I got up. I woke up slowly. I turned on Wednesday morning Bible study. I listened to that, which was amazing. She, indirectly talked about some emotions that some of us may be experiencing, mainly fear. And then rather than going to like the headlines, the news, or what have you, I decided for the first time to get information from social media. So I got on Instagram to see some of my favorite accounts just to see what their reaction was, because I felt like I knew, like, by their reaction, and couldn't believe it. Like, I just couldn't believe it. Like, there was a numbness. And like I immediately understood why it was so quiet, because it was like not a peaceful quiet, it was a sad quiet. I still feel like this is not real. But it's like slowly kicking into me how fucking real this is and how real it's about to get. And emotional yet. And this too is part of the fucking grieving process. It's like acceptance, denial, and then it hits you, and then you like go through this whole thing, and then you get angry, and then you get whatever, like all the fucking phases of like loss and grief. Mine are kicking in slow. I think it's these glasses, man. My glasses, I don't know why they're fine when I first put them on, and then by the end of the night they're so tight they give me a headache. Like everything gives me a headache. My glasses, my hair, my like everything. I just for whatever fucking reason I get on Facebook, which I don't do. Like, why would I get on Facebook? But I felt like I needed to know like how my peers on Facebook were taking it, and it was like dead silent for the majority of the day yesterday, except with like a few people who fucking voted for Trump and tried to be the nice person and talk about how we all still need to come together and support each other and not be sore losers and not be sore winners and blah, 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 fucking blah. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? This is not a game. This is our lives. Don't be a sore loser. This isn't a child's soccer match. It's our fucking lives. Texting and calling and checking on me and like the only, like, I received a couple messages and calls, and you know, like, I've just been saying, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay, like, I'm not fucking okay, but I'm just like, I'm okay because I have to be, I'm still standing because I have to stand, kind of thing. Still processing, right? And then my phone did a really good job at like blocking out everything else because there were quite a few calls and messages that were like I didn't even know that I had received, but I'm glad because I just didn't want to spend the entire mental fucking health day responding and waiting in and like holding space for other people and their fucking emotions or whatever the fuck they wanted from me. It was a really hard day for everyone. I'm not sure the last time I felt since my grandmother passed, I've been talking about how like I don't want to do any more what have I been calling it? I'm done with like all of us like collective grieving. Like we don't all have to get together and just like cry, like wail and just be sad and like go through it together. Like I know that there's something that says that that is like healthy and like normal and that you should. And I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to do it. An overwhelming feeling of sadness. Like I can't explain it. You fucking know. Like you know what I'm talking about. If you felt something, that's what I'm talking about. Like I like eventually went to bed because I had to be up this morning to go to a fucking conference for work. And when I tell you I did not want to do that, because I did not want to walk in a room full of non-black women and just be susceptible to whatever was going to be said. Because I'm already fucking disappointed in the women who didn't choose themselves, who didn't choose their friends, who didn't choose their daughters, who didn't choose their granddaughters, who didn't fucking choose their sisters, who just fucking didn't choose other women. But firstly and mostly, you didn't fucking choose yourself. The fuck did you vote for him for? What? Why? Why? Like, run it down. Run the logic down. Because to me, it seems like you jumped on your fucking husband's back. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I was already upset with the women who didn't choose women. So I really don't fucking feel like going into a room and spending time with a bunch of women who don't look like me, who don't have to walk in even similar shoes as me, and sit there and be amongst them all day long. I didn't want to do that. Thank God Everybody was respectful. Nobody brought that shit up unless, we were in little groups, little trusted groups. It's 42 minutes in and I just I can't do this. I'm not feeling well, I'm tired, and I'm not making sense. So, I don't want to do this. So, okay, so I still feel fucking unhinged. Reality feels like a literal dream. Emotions and thoughts are still running rampant and unstable. I feel shredded. But I was saying before, I felt shredded before this shit show occurred. But right now, get some tweezers and piece me the fuck together, because I just feel, you know what I mean? And for good reason. And what I appreciate is how everybody is fucking coming out and talking about how unhinged they feel. Everybody. And that's the only part that I feel solidarity in, to be honest. Is that everybody's shook, tea, because my throat is burning. It's right where this in here and this connect. I'm not being a hypo this time. I really am not well. Serious. Oh, it's so fucking good. Oh, where have you been all my life? Oh, I just want to jump inside you right now. Oh. Like a hot tub full of ginger tea. Oh. Yes, please. I would do that. I would do a spa treatment, soak in a ginger turmeric. Does turmeric? Well, ginger might burn too. I'm just thinking, how might this feel on the skin? Ginger and turmeric bath? That sounds heavenly. Or is it gonna burn my puss? Does anybody know? Has anybody tried it? Let me know if you tried it. Oh. Don't spill, please. Not on my thing. Didn't spill. I'm supposed to be talking while rolling my hair because I'm going to fucking bed. I am. But I wanted to where's my brush? I wanted to try to multitask. I also need, oh God, hold on. Okay. All right, I got what I need. Talk and do what you need to do at the same time. It's Monday, November 11th. Off today. I didn't have off. I had to work, which is fine. I don't give a fuck. I didn't work. I went into the office, but nobody called. I have all my work caught up. And so I didn't have a lot of shit to do. And nobody fucking called or came in. In fact, one person canceled, so that lightened the load even more. So I did my rounds. I checked my email. I checked my email. Okay, what? There wasn't very many in there, so I got through that pretty quickly. The rest of the day, I just scrolled and read articles on MSN. What do you call that? MSN homepage? That's what I did all day. And I didn't feel bad about it because I felt like shit. And I work hard. Usually. Should stay consistent with things like talking and recording and vlogging or whatever, because you go on a little fucking break, you go on a little vacation and come back and forget how to read. No, I didn't forget how to read, but you know what I mean. Like, you just forget things very quickly when you're out of practice. And so this is also, as I'm saying it out loud, this is also applicable to just like expressing yourself and just keeping your thoughts organized, or at least for me, like I have a problem with keeping all of my thoughts organized and like keeping things concise and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And that's because I don't talk to people. Like, I'm out of practice with just talking. And so when I do, I'm just like all over the place. Because first of all, I'm already socially awkward as it is. So I'm in my head about that. And then it's just difficult. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But what I'm realizing is how helpful and how therapeutic and how much of a good exercise it can be to even just fucking talk to yourself on this video, to just get your thoughts out. It's like a form of journaling, which I knew that, which is, you know, part of why I selected this particular method for documenting my fertility, infertility, IVF journey, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was just going to be easier than like writing a chapter every other couple days. It's not, actually. Talking to yourself on video is not easier. It still involves consistency. It still involves organization of thoughts and blah, blah, blah. Control of, or like regulating emotions and all that shit. This one is a little too small and I feel like I'm wasting a bobby pin, but whatever. Anyways, it's Veterans Day, and this is, I think, one of the first years that I'm actually having difficulty with this particular day, because one of my parents served in the military, retired from it, and that's always been something that we have been proud of, being a military family. And today I feel like fuck that. This country didn't deserve my parents' service. And what the fuck have they done for us specifically? But like I'm battling with that, because at the same time, it was a platform for my parent to build a life upon. Okay, so there's that. So you know what I mean? It's like conflicting feelings and thoughts about service to country. It quite honestly feels like a joke and a waste. But I'm also like, again, I'm not thinking clearly because I'm so fucking pissed and full of anxiety about this whole situation that is fucking 2025 coming. Like, I've never not wanted a new year to come. I've never felt that. Like, if we could, as fucked as this year has been for me and for a lot of people across the world, I feel like I might rather stay in this year rather than endure the shit show that is to come. I have I've been triggered in so many ways. My grief has been triggered in so many ways, just like randomly. Like, I'm just not okay. I'm just not. And I feel like, aside from the toddler germs that I've been exposed to, like, my immune system was already weakened, I think, from like stress and fear. You know, all that stuff is like horrible for your body. And I know this. It was kind of like a sneak attack on me this time. But all of these things that like I kind of struggle with pretty hard are so terrible for my physical body. And it's like at an all-time high right now. Okay, is this gonna work? Loosely is. I don't know where all my bobby pins went, but I don't have a lot of them, so I need to act like that. I started writing down some like bullet points for me to like try and get this video out. I've been trying to get this video out since like before the election, and I just couldn't. Like, I couldn't get myself together. I'm processing, I'm crying, I'm terrified, I'm angry, I'm, losing a little bit of hope. Like, I'm going through it. Like many people are going through it still today. I just couldn't get it out, and it just felt super inauthentic for me to like push something for the sake of like everybody's jumping on social and putting something out, and I just fucking couldn't. Like, I've started this video so many times, as you can see. Like, right after the election, I was a fucking mess. Like, I couldn't say words. So I put together some bullet points for me to just like go through what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, like what's most important to me. Not most important, but just like where my fucking head is. All right. And I want to take it way back to January of 2024. So good. I want to take it back to January of 2024 when I went through my miscarriage. This is something that's been on my mind for a while now, and it's freaking me out in the sense of like, I just didn't know how dangerous it was. I just didn't know, which makes me feel like I have so much more to learn about, not necessarily learn, because I know a lot of this. I just, like, when you're on a mission to get pregnant with your biological cells before they fucking run out. Like, when you're on a mission, you're not thinking about, for me at least, I'm not thinking about the whole entire big picture. I'm thinking about the mission at hand, the task at hand, and that is to get pregnant and stay pregnant, right? But there are so many other levels and steps to the entire journey that fucking matter. Like, obviously, your health and well-being and safety through the entire process, as well as through pregnancy. A lot of dangerous parts to trying to conceive and conceiving itself. Which way is the curl going? For instance, I once here was the time of events as it happened, right? So in literally the day after Christmas last year, I had my check-in appointment, and that's when they basically told me that they could not find a heartbeat and that the baby stopped growing, and that I could either stop taking my medicine right now and prepare for miscarriage, or wait another week and then do another check. Well, I decided to wait another week, or essentially I decided to continue the rest of my medication, which was this is a big one. I don't think this is gonna work, but if I do it right, maybe. The rest of my medication at that time was a little more than a week. So I decided to continue my medication and then get checked. Well, I didn't necessarily want to go all the way back to California again for them to confirm what they told me at my last appointment, right? I wanted to be checked by someone locally, which is where, I don't know, some who have been kind of watching may remember that I struggled to get a hold of a doctor that I felt comfortable with. I'm gonna have to redo that. I struggled to get a hold of a doctor in that time. The doctor that I had seen right after Christmas, what am I trying to say? After my REI said what he said, I decided to get a second opinion from a local doctor here. And that doctor was just like, you never know. Like, you don't have to make a decision right now. I've seen miracles happen. You don't have to make a decision. Like, if you want to wait it out, wait it out. Like, your body is going to do what it needs to do. So I appreciated her advice and I went with that. But by the time my meds were up and I needed to get checked again because I was experiencing other side effects, I could not get a hold of that doctor again. The office would not fucking pick up the phone. And so, where does this go? Oh God. Where does this even go? Right here. I have to re-roll this one. So I found a different doctor, even closer to me, and made the appointment. Like, I scheduled the appointment to get checked, But before, like, I didn't make it. I didn't make it to that appointment. Like, the process, like, the miscarriage started before and pretty much ended. Well, no. It started and, like, majority of it completed before I could get to that appointment. I didn't make it. And so when I did finally get to that appointment, she was like, and let me back up some, because the night that it happened, I went home from work because I just felt like something was wrong and I wanted to be at home. I told my boss that I wasn't feeling well, that I needed to be at home. And so I went home early from work. And by the time I got home from work, everything had escalated so quickly, and I knew that it was happening. And so I let my mom know what was happening, and she showed up, and I'm so glad that she showed up because, like, I mean, there wasn't anything that she or I could do, but just her being there. I'm usually, like, I'm not a person that, like, likes to be around other people when I'm sick. Like, I don't like to be held. I just want to curl up in a ball and be by myself and, like, get through it. And then you can love on me when I'm feeling well. But, like, as I'm going through something, I typically don't. I need to be a lone wolf, like, out to pasture. But I'm so glad that she came because that was, like, a really, really rough night. Anyways, my mom, when she came, she's like, I think that we should go to the emergency room. And I'm like, the emergency room for what? Like, there's nothing that they can do. And she's just like she was, like, trying to tell me without being insensitive, because I'm literally going through it at home here. And, you know, it was a very, very difficult thing to go through, but she's, like, trying to balance, like, reason with, you know, this very hard situation. She's just like, well, are you sure you don't want to go to the ER? Like, they'll be able to help you. They'll be able to, like, stop the pain, like, all these things. And I'm just like, I'm already in pain. If I go to the ER right now, like, all I could think about was, like, every time that I've ever been to the emergency room, you're fucking sitting there for, like, hours. In pain. Like, I've been in the ER where people are, like, bleeding, they're vomiting, like, their shit is broken, and they're, like, in agony, sick, in pain, and they're being made to sit there for hours. The last thing that I wanted to do was be in the emergency room waiting for hours having a miscarriage. I did not fucking want that. And it had already started badly. It was bad. And so I was just like, no, that's all I could think of. And honestly, that's all that I understood, was that, like, you go to the emergency room when, like, you're dying, or like, there's, like, something's happening and you need help. Like, I just knew that my body was doing what it needed to do. I did not know how serious it could get if my body didn't release all of the pregnancy, if I didn't know, like, the things that could happen if you don't have the right help, right? And I think I even told my mom, I was like, what did I say? I don't know what the stipulation was, but I was like, if this and this doesn't happen by this time, then I'll go. And I think it was because, what the fuck, my building, at the same time as as my pregnancy is being released, my body is going through it, I'm having, like, cramps and just going through it. My building gets evacuated because there was a fire somewhere. And so as I'm going through it, I have to like leave the apartment and just wait for them to check everything and clear everything. And I think it was like, if they don't let me back in the building by a certain time, then I'll go to the ER. But we ended up being able to come back up, and this lasted like for hours. By the time it was like 9 o'clock that came around, I felt less cramping, and there was like less bleeding and just like less pain. And so I felt tired enough and comfortable enough for my mom to leave. And I felt comfortable enough to have her not sit in the ER with me till 3 a.m. or longer. So she went back home and I went to bed. 2 days, because it was a weekend. Like, the process started on a Friday. So I left early that Friday, and then I went through it Saturday and Sunday. And then my appointment was on a Monday. The appointment that I made to like check the pregnancy, that appointment was for Monday. So it's like my body went through all of it pretty much Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And like I still had some things going on, but like I felt better. Like I felt comfortable enough to like get out and get some air. I think, did I take more days off? I think I did. I took that Monday off, I think, and another day. I took some extra time. And like, I don't know, I felt good. Like I got through it. I was pretty proud of like my body for like just fucking getting me through that. And so when I had my appointment on Monday with this new doctor, she was like, so you came in for this, and I'm sorry that you didn't make it and you went through this. And then she's like, did you go to the ER? And I was like, no, why does everybody keep asking me that? She's just like, so you just went through it at home? I was like, yeah. And she didn't say anything. She just kind of asked me like, bitch, you're crazy. Like, you should have went to the... I got the impression more and more that I should have went. Like you should have went. Like, this is one of those occasions where you go to the ER. And I was just like, okay. I didn't. So now what? But she didn't say anything. And she, we did the ultrasound or whatever, and there were still, what did she say? Like there was still some things going on. And she's like, yeah, it looks like your body did a pretty good job. However, there's still more that needs to happen. And so then she prescribed me the medication to, and this was kind of like her word, she said, help my body get through the rest of it quicker, because she didn't want me suffering anymore. She's like, your body is going to handle it, but we don't know how long it's going to take. And I just want you to like get through this quicker. And then she's also like, we also don't want you to get an infection. And I was like, okay, all right, like that makes sense. But I mean, she just said it just like that. Like, we don't want you to get an infection. We don't know how long your body's going to take to handle the rest of it. And I don't want you to suffer. And I was like, all right, well, I feel like most of it, like I still was just like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like my body has handled the worst of it. And like, I feel fine now. So, but if you're saying whatever you're saying, then fine. But she didn't say anything like, you should have, and I told her that this, would have been my first, not my first pregnancy, but like my first, like, whatever. Like, this is my first rodeo going through this. I don't have any other, living children. So maybe I don't know what I don't know. And I just feel like she should have said, you know, you could have considered going to the emergency room because it's paramount that you do release all of the pregnancy, and an infection could mean X, Y, and Z. Like, nobody ever said that to me. So I really didn't understand how serious it was to get a DNC. Excuse me, because that's what they would have done at the hospital, is given me a DNC. And from just what I had heard about them, also was like another reason why I didn't want to go, because I didn't want them doing any procedure on me. I didn't want them touching my uterus. I didn't want them, like, I just did not want the procedure. I wanted my body to just do it. But I just really did not understand the gravity of one misstep and I could be seriously, seriously ill. Borderline. I just didn't understand the gravity of the situation, being like I could be seriously ill, and how close to death um, that I could have been for an infection that came from not thoroughly miscarrying or not, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't know all of that. And so, not to say that I like was like walking around proud that I like had a miscarriage on my own, unmedicated, and all the things. Not to say that I was like walking around proud of that, but I did feel like I did what was best for me at the time to the best of my knowledge. Like, I felt secure in my decision. I felt secure that I was at home going through it. I felt secure that I let my mom support me and be there. I felt secure in like my decisions, right? And honestly, it wasn't until recently, and I mean like within the last few months, where I'm hearing more and more about women dying from not being able to have a DNC after an abortion or after miscarrying because of this ridiculous season that we're in when it comes to reproductive rights and medical care. Like, I'm hearing more and more about women dying within hours of their situation because their doctors are waiting to give them a DNC. And here I am choosing not to have a DNC. And it was hours and hours and hours that I allowed my body to go through it naturally. And I just felt I felt away. A little bit, I felt too close to the situation. And it's kind of been upsetting for me because, again, I just did not realize the severity, like how important being able to have that option is. And the fact that it is an option for me still is like, I don't take that for granted. I just, if I would have had a little bit more information and like the severity of, like, if I would have just known, I may have made a different choice. End of the day, I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm just trying to do what I feel is right for my body. And if I'm not afraid of a doctor or a medication, well, I am afraid of medication, but if it's like, bitch, you need this, I'm gonna pop it. I'm gonna take it. Anyways, like, even throughout this like journey, like there's just still a lot of stuff that I don't know. And it's like after my experience and after hearing about and reading other women's stories who were denied a D&C, and after, you know, the election and voting on reproductive rights and healthcare, like I just understand how fucking important it is to have the option, have like just have access to it. And it just hits it a little bit differently. Like I am grateful choice and for opportunities, or not opportunities, for access. Shall we talk about abortions now? It might, what's this? Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to fix that. It might sound strange for someone that has infertility and wants a baby so badly to say that they are pro-choice and that they believe in the right to make decisions and have autonomy over your own body and like their right to have an abortion. It might sound funny for someone like me to say those things, but I don't give a fuck how it sounds. I really don't. All of those things are true at the same time. I struggle with infertility. I want a child of my own so incredibly badly. I'm going through IVF. But I also support the woman's choice to have an abortion. I have always said, and I stand by, and I feel like pro-choice is pro-life. Having the access to an abortion is making the best decision for the pregnant person and for any potential living child. It just is. It just is. If a person is saying that they're not ready to parent a child, to bring a child into the world and to care for it and provide for it and be a parent and all the things. If a person is flat out saying that they're choosing not to because they don't want to or because they don't feel equipped to do it at the time, then that's the best fucking decision for them. What's it fucking to you? It's not your body. It's not your, like, it has nothing to do with you. So I don't even know why this is up for discussion, honestly. I really don't. Aside from that, like people say, if you don't want to have an abortion, don't fucking have an abortion. You know what I mean? Like, what? Anyways, I say all that to say that a D&C and also the medication that was given to me by my doctor to help my body speed things along, both of those things are considered medical abortions. And I'll have to like fact check myself to like triple check, but I'm pretty sure both of those are considered medical abortions. I've listened to enough fertility doctors by now to know and understand that terminology is just for the most part, fucking terminology, and people hear that word or they'll see that word on paperwork, abortion, and they flip their shit. And that is the term for a pregnancy ending, whether you want it to or not. And so, legally, if things went south, at least here in Arizona, as far as abortions go, I would not even be able to have the pills to help my body move this miscarriage along. I mean, I did not enjoy the pills. If you remember, you remember. I did not enjoy the pills. I did not take them all. But if I needed to, I would have. Okay? But yeah, I just can't imagine needing care, either way you slice it, either by way of medication or procedure, and not being able to get the care that I need because of some fucking law. Like, I can't imagine that. It's all the same shit. And that was like the one, like another thing that made me so nervous about this election is that, you know, I'm going to continue IVF soon. And in the chance that I have to go through this again, by this I mean go through another miscarriage, I might choose differently. I definitely would seek the guidance and supervision of a medical professional to help my body through this. And again, the possibility of shit, I'm out of bobby pins. Hold on. Okay. The possibility of not having access to those same medical options as I had before is terrifying, basically. But I think, at least here in Arizona, we voted Prop 139. So we still have access to abortions as of right now on a state level. And so thank God for that. Looking at me right now and you're like, bitch, you're doing this all wrong. What's wrong with you? This is gonna turn out ugly. Shut the fuck up. I know. And my hair is still short, so it's like not easy to do. I know, I'm gonna stop cutting my hair. Even though I thought about like a really cute cut with color today. I'm not gonna cut my hair. I'm gonna work, bro. Come on. Anyways, I didn't even like express myself the way that I have been wanting to about that. It's been on my mind about, it's been on my mind. Everything has been on my mind. Okay, let's try it again. How many more pieces do I have? Because I might have to double. I did this so much better yesterday. It's gonna be straight and I'm gonna be pissed in the morning. Is that gonna stay? I have to warm up my tea. Yeah. What else did I put on here? How I feel about, okay. We're still talking about abortions. So, All of that being said, I somehow have become the person you call when accidentally gotten pregnant and are needing to make a decision on whether or not to keep the baby. And then when the choice is made or necessary to have a pregnancy terminated, like I'm somehow the support system for that. I don't know how I've become that, but I don't enjoy it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not enjoy it. The only thing that like holds me to this is that like I think I feel obligated slash I won't even say grateful. I won't say honored. I won't say like aside from like the obligation part, I feel like I'm glad that people are comfortable enough with me and trusting enough of me to share such a very personal situation and decision. Like I think I'm glad that we have a close enough connection for that, but fuck. I don't know if anybody's considering me in this whole thing. Like, I have nothing to do with your fucking situation at all. And I hate that you're in this situation. But what about me? Again, as someone who is desperately trying to have a baby, and you're talking to me about how it just accidentally happened for you, and now you're needing to make this choice. So yeah, I'm fucking unhinged right now because I just don't understand what all this means. Like I thought I had an idea. I thought like I had it together, but it's just like, this is cruel at this point. It's cruel. It's not fair. It sucks. But I'm that person that people go to because they trust me. This is the second person who has come to me with this very specific situation, and I'm just like, it's very hard. It's very sad for me. I still support the thing itself. It's just because of my circumstances that makes it so much, you know? Anyways. People, I won't even say that. I won't say that. Am I terrified of like what the next 4 years holds as far as reproductive rights, IVF, not even just IVF, but like ART period. ART being assisted reproductive technology or treatment. All of it. I'm concerned about what's going to happen in the next 4 years. And honestly, it has made me feel even more anxious about not starting before the end of the year, because I don't fucking know what next year is going to hold. And that's like one of my biggest fears right now, is that I have this taken away from me before I even reach my goal of bringing my take-home baby home, you know? And you would think that, like, I keep wanting to say it's people who don't understand, who feel so strongly about like taking something away or like revoking it. It's like people who have never been through it before, who want this to not be available anymore. But it's fucking not. It's like people who have been through the situation. It's people who have families from IVF. It's people who have like actually fucking been there, and it just doesn't make sense of like how fucking hypocritical they can be. Like, you use these services, you had an abortion or two, and now you want to like take it away for everybody else. Like, that make sense to me. Seriously. Oh. And then I've been on social media a lot lately. A lot. I have been doing a lot of scrolling. And honestly, for the most part, this has helped me quite a bit to just cope. Because again, I'm seeing a unity amongst Black women, Black people, queer people. Well, I've seen a unity within certain communities that feels so much safer, so much more genuine, authentic, that like I can get down with that kind of unity. So social media in that regard has been very helpful for me, because without it, I've felt very alone and misunderstood and alone. Like, just even trying to talk about it with other people, even people that are like really close to me, like they're not getting it. It's not felt, they don't know, they don't understand, and it's just like, all right, another island, great. So social media, and I start seeing this thing called the 4B movement. And don't ask me what the 4Bs are. I don't fucking know. But overall, it's just like a protest by women against, what do they say? I don't know why it's 4B, but I think it originated in some part of Asia. I don't know, like one of the Koreas. And it's like no marriage, no kids, no dating, no sex, to protest the revoking of women's rights. And while that's fucking epic, like, I can get down with that. I really can. At the same time, it's like I'm seeing these videos of like women saying that they're not having any more kids, and like I don't know, like that part obviously feels sharp to me. Again, make your own choice, boo-boo. Do what you gotta do. If you feel comfortable in that, do that. And I commend women who have taken that stance. There are some people in my world who have taken that stance. But for me, I know I can do whatever I want, and I don't have to do everything that everybody else is doing. I know that. Just let me process through my feelings here, okay? I feel like am I the asshole for still wanting to have a baby in this fucking world, in this country? You know? Like, I already questioned that before all of this. I already questioned that. Like, is it fair? Is it responsible to seek, not even like accidentally do it, not even like meet someone and like, oopsie, we had a baby, now like we have a family, but to pay money and actively try to bring a child into this life. You know, like, I already struggled with that as it was, especially with me being so unhappy with the state of the world today and just like the state of everything and like our planet and climate change and like everything that they could possibly be exposed to. Like, I already felt some way about that and wanting a child so badly. But now, like, I think about, okay, I have a little girl and I already had in my mind a laundry list of all the things that I would have to protect her from and how to keep her healthy and how to keep her safe. But now, like, I have a little girl and like there's so many things that like I would just be scared for her about, like, and I chose to bring her here, you know? And I'm not going to be able to protect her from everything. Like, I know that already. And so it's like, how fair is that? And then I think about, I have a little boy and all of the things that I have to protect him from, a little black boy. Like, I can't even promise him anything. Like, I wouldn't be able to in the first place. I know that. But just like the anxiety that I have around having black children now, there's this 4B movement going on where women all around the world are taking a stance for their bodies, right? I don't understand it to be like against men. Well, some of it seems to be against men, like the no dating part. Like, why can't it just be no sex, no having children? I'll have to read more into it, but it just felt like sharp when I like was like coming across so many videos about it, and I was just like, ah. Like, I get it. I fucking get it. I really do. But at the same time, like, for me, someone who wants a child more, like, the men part, sorry, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gay, so I'm talking about the having kids part. Like, how easy it is for some women to say that they're going to join this movement and not have any more kids or not have kids at all. Like, it was just so easy for them to say. And I wonder if they ever wanted kids in the first place, or like, how did they come to that decision? I won't say easily, but how did they come to the decision so quickly if they did ever want children? And let's say that they don't have any and they did want children and then they joined the movement. Like, how were they able to come to that decision so quickly? It could be just the strength of their ideals and their like anger that fuels the decision. and respect. I think I say all this to say that that's not the way that I'll be taking a stand. I don't know how it will be, but that won't be it, obviously. Well, maybe. Well, no. 50%. Like, it'll be easy for me to stay away from the fellas. That'll be easy. It's just the kids part. Did you hear that? Okay. Girl, move on. All right. Good night. I'm going to finish this and go to bed.